Well, thank you, everybody. We are now all set for the awesome and very cool sponsors showcase. So I wanted to invite all of the sponsors who are speaking today to come on up and get in the spotlight. I'm going to first of all share my screen and oops, not there. I'm going to share my screen and talk about the who all of our sponsors are. So first of all, here we go. Thank you to all of our sponsors: Paint Care, Zanker, Strategic
Natalie,
Materials.
Natalie, if you'll show your camera, that would be great.
And Race to Zero Waste, Zero Waste Sonoma, Green Education US, Urban Ore, Sure Clothes Cascadia, SES Engineers, Bob Geddert, Zero Waste Associates, Payzone and Biobag, and our partners, of course, National Recycling Coalition, Zero Waste International Alliance, Zero Waste Youth, the USA, and True. And we have virtual booths coming up at 3 p.m. And so a lot of our sponsors will be there. So come to 3 p.m. It's going to be a great time to debrief, grab a glass of something that you want to drink, and then just to kind of just communicate with each other. You didn't get much chance to do that during the conference, but you will during the booths. Green Education US, Paint Care, Race to Zero Waste, Recyclists, Zanker Recycling, Zero Waste US, Zero Waste Associates, Zero Waste USA, and Zero Waste International will all have booths, and we'll see you there. Oops, wrong one. Then we go to the speakers for today. Oopsie, there we go, back here. First up, we're going to have Jill Danello from Green Education US. Then we'll hear from Hayden Sloan from Race to Zero Waste and Natalie Chiazzu from Recyclist. I'll talk a little bit about strategic materials and paint care, and then we will also hear from Gil at Zanker Recycling. So Jill, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Let me just get my screen up here. I'm going to keep this brief because I think many of you heard my spiel yesterday, or you already know about our program because I've seen a lot of our instructors and our students and our alumni or presenters in our webinars. But thank you to the conference for giving me an opportunity to connect with those of you who may not be familiar with our program. I will be at the happy hour. I'm volunteering for the next session, so I'm gonna speak and dash. So if you do have questions, please do come to our room at 3 or contact me. I'll have my email on the slide deck afterwards, and would love to engage with you that way. Thanks again so much to the organizers. This has been a fantastic conference, so inspiring. The last session on reuse. We know that reduction is really where it's at, but reuse just gets, so many creative juices flowing. It's always super exciting to think about what the potential is there and what's currently happening. And so speaking of reuse, Green Education offers a certificate in sustainable resource management program that's really based on the idea of reusing, all the expertise and content like what's going on in the conference today. We have an online certification program. It's a semester long, accredited by the National Standards Board of the National Recycling Coalition. It has pre-recorded lectures from many of the people that you're seeing here today. Here's a brief look at our instructors. We are an education platform. So if you would like to see your face here in our instructor Rolodex, online Rolodex, please contact me afterwards. We're always looking to hear new voices and new things that are going on out there in the industry. Real quick look at our program. It does include 30 hours of pre-recorded online content. It's broken down into short segments so that it's easy to accomplish, a little bit a day at a time. Although we are fully online and self-paced, we do have our instructors and administrators there behind the scenes working to personalize and work with each of our students individually. And then we do offer several live virtual meeting sessions throughout the semester so that you can connect with other experts and your peers when going through the program. This is just a quick look at some of the topics that are covered in the CSRMP program. And we also do offer customized learning solutions, virtual, face-to-face, working with communities, businesses, and customizing and want to meet your learning needs. So I hope to see all of you at the happy hour afterwards. I would love to connect with you again if you're interested in being a student, a speaker, an instructor. If you have a project that you need some support with, please reach out. We're happy to connect with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. And now, Hayden, I know you're also going to be joining a concurrent session. So we wanted to see you if you could share your screen and tell us a little bit about Race to Zero Waste before you have to head off.
Sure thing. Yeah. Okay, all good here?
Good.
All right. So hi, I'm Hayden Sloan with Race to Zero Waste. I'm the Strategic Director of Communications. I just stepped into this role in August, though I've been with Race to Zero Waste for just a little over a year now. So super glad to be here. Nice to meet those of you who I haven't met yet. I am based out of Madrid, so it's a little hard to meet in person, but I'm really excited to meet you all virtually. So hopefully some of you will join us for the upcoming concurrent session as well. But just to talk a little bit about Race to Zero Waste. So we started out with the bib-free and cup-free runs, right, some years ago. And now that Race to Zero Waste has kind of developed into a metaphor, though we keep our roots. We did have a virtual run during the pandemic, and we have an upcoming one in May, hopefully. So look out for that. But we see the race also as a metaphor, right? So zero waste is reducing and reusing, as we've talked about now, those plastics and getting away from single use. So we see that single-use plastics and the climate crisis are kind of two sides of the same coin, and the Race to Zero Waste reflects the urgency to address those issues. So that's just a little bit about the mission of our organization. We put sustainability in action to help reduce those single-use plastics. Our signature program is the Zero Waste Station pop-up. So in the concurrent session, you'll hear a little bit more about the history, development, and community engagement with this program. But we have different organizations, community organizations that we work with that include Project Homeless Connect, as you see here, taking in reuse items to help distribute to those who are struggling with homelessness. And then Dispatch Goods is one that we've recently partnered with during our Zero Waste Action Month to be a drop-off location for their containers. So if you've heard of them, hopefully we're getting some of that reuse for takeout right out into the world. And we also do some community cleanups with folks like Together SF and Refuse Refuse. So we get together a lot with fellow community organizations that are doing similar work to collaborate. We love the idea of collaborating, making zero waste really mainstream, right? That it's not like an elite thing. We just want it to be really clear, accessible, and easy to go zero waste for all of our communities that we work in. So we also do some online campaigns and hybrid events. So if you saw Zero Waste Action Month, which was our big campaign push for October, it'll come around next year. So hopefully you can also participate. So we share actions on social using the hashtag Zero Waste Action Month. And we also do hybrid events. So this is the poster from last year's Wild and Scenic Film Festival. And then we have the Wild and Scenic Film Festival on tour upcoming once again in March 2022. So lots of projects in the works to hopefully get folks inspired and get folks engaged with zero waste and the urgency, that race to zero waste. So if you'll have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm Hayden at racetozerowaste.org. Again, we love to collaborate, so please send us a message, follow us on social, and we'll follow you back too. So we're really excited to be together in this, putting sustainability in action as a community.
Thank you so much, Hayden. And we will be having a booth with Race to Zero Waste staff at 3 o'clock. Now let's hear from Natalie from Recyclist.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie. I work with Recyclists. I joined about 6 months ago, and some of you may have heard my colleague Linnea present yesterday at the showcase, but for those of you who maybe weren't able to tune in, I'll share a little bit about what we do. So we are a software company. We're based out of Truckee, California, which is by Lake Tahoe. And we create simple, elegant technology solutions to complex environmental challenges. And we have a strong focus on the solid waste and recycling industry. So we work mainly with municipalities and jurisdictions of all shapes and sizes, as well as with private waste haulers as well, and some universities and nonprofits. And we really aim to use our products to help all of our customers make progress towards their zero waste goals. And so our first product is our Ultimate Recycling Guide, which is a public education and outreach tool for residents. So it's a fully customizable yet turnkey educational and search tool. And so here's an example of one of our guides with the state of New York. And so while we do focus on the what to do and how to recycle aspect, we really focus on educating and empowering residents to reduce and reuse as well. And we also really aim to make our content accessible. Our guides are able to be translated into 16 different languages. And we're also jumping into the transcreation space at the moment. Oops. And then our next product is our program tracker, which is an internal compliance and outreach data tracking solution for commercial and multifamily generators. And so while most of our customers, at least for the program tracker, are from California, at least almost 27% of all jurisdictions in California are actually using our program tracker to record, keep, and report as required by the 3 main recycling mandates in California. It is super applicable to all states, all local programs, as we track also local ordinances. So a lot of our customers track things like foodware ordinances, but it's also applicable to any local or other state recycling mandates, as well as waste audits. And we also track and schedule outreach, inspections, enforcements. Yes, and so as this conference has really proven, zero waste is a team effort. And so we really want to focus on collaboration and allowing all players to make a difference and have a role. And with that, if anyone would like to learn more or just connect, I will leave my email and our website in the chat. And thanks so much. This has been an awesome conference so far, and I really enjoyed listening to all the sessions.
Natalie, thank you so much. So please join Recyclists at the booth at 3 o'clock. They are fun folks, and we'll, you'll learn a lot. So thank you all for participating. I'm going to share my screen again, or I'm going to attempt to, and talk a little bit about some of our other sponsors. And let's see if this works. And some of our upcoming events. So Zero Waste USA and our partners have several upcoming events that we want to make sure you are aware of. Introduction to Zero Waste is coming up on January 25th. And Krista Tournay, who was one of our moderators today, and Gary Liss, who is one of the moderators of the breakout sessions coming up, will be teaching that class. It's a 4-hour class, and it tees you up to become a Zero Waste associate. It gives you all the basics and sets you on a course for becoming an expert in zero waste planning and program implementation. We will also be having a zero waste symposium hosted by Zero Waste San Diego coming up on February 8th. That will be online. Both of the first 2 listed are online, and and it is a full jam-packed day full of speakers and interesting events and ideas. And there will be a focus on repair and reuse at that symposium as well, way up in the hierarchy. So we appreciate that. Northern California Recycling Association, which hosted our registration program this year, has their recycling update coming up on March 15th. If all goes well, that will be a hybrid event, but they do intend to have at least some sessions in person, hopefully in Berkeley. So if you're on the Bay Area or would like to come to the Bay Area March 15th, that would be excellent. But we will be having online training for the Zero Waste Associates. It basically does 3 full days separated by months, but the first kickoff day is on March 29th. Then we'll have follow-up classes in April and May. And essentially the students learn to do a zero waste plan for a community, a business, institution. So check that out on the Zero Waste USA website. Wanted to say a little bit about Strategic Materials. Strategic Materials is one of our gold sponsors and began life as an environmental pioneer in 1896, partnering with General Electric in Cleveland. Did you know that? They were partnered in order to recycle its light bulb glass. And since then, SMI's passion for glass has only grown with operations in nearly 50 locations across 3 countries. SMI recycles a variety of glass, totaling beneficiation of nearly 3 million tons of glass each year. And we really like recycling and zero waste because even though it's not enough, we need to rethink and redesign and reuse first. We need to also recycle, and glass is something that can be recycled into new glass. Glass bottles can be recycled into new glass bottles. So we love glass. And thank you, Strategic Materials, for recycling our glass. Wanted to also acknowledge Paint Care as one of our gold sponsors. Paint Care is a nonprofit 501c3 organization and represents the paint manufacturers and paint producers to plan and operate paint stewardship programs in the US and in both in the states and also jurisdictions that pass paint stewardship laws. So Paint Care has launched programs across the country following the passage of laws in California, Colorado, Connecticut, the District of Columbia, Maine, Minnesota, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, and most recently, Washington and New York. So check out Paint Care. They will be hosting a booth at 3 p.m. So check them out. And then I did want to just remind you about our happy hour at 3 p.m. today. We had a great time yesterday, and Zanker Recycling will actually be sponsoring a virtual facility tour. So join us for that. And now I would like to turn it over to Gil from Zanker Recycling to tell us a little bit about their program. So take it away, Gil.
Hi, my name is Gil. I'm one of the residents here at the landfill. I'm going to tell you a little story about a company named Zanker Recycling. They've made my life miserable. Here, let me show you. That right there is my great-great-grandfather. When he settled here, this place was awesome. Trucks would pull up with the best stuff and they just let it pile up everywhere. Then the big earthquake of '89 hit, and Zanker Recycling began sorting through the building debris and carefully retrieving and returning people's personal belongings. People seem impressed. We were not. Since then, we've seen them become experts of sorting, separating, and reusing stuff. I wish this stupid fad would die out already. Today, over 80% of what arrives here gets diverted from the landfill for reuse. That's one of the highest rates in the country. Thanks, Zanker. I can totally use that other 20% to feed my family. Jerk. How do they do it? With over 200 people, a few robots, and something they like to call American Re-Innovation. First, let's talk about FIRST, the first demolition recycling operation. First to separate soil, concrete, and wood. The first to turn old concrete into new building foundations, roads, and landscape materials. The first West Coast sorting robot. And one of the first recyclers where you can earn lead points towards building certification. I can't read. Now let's talk about seconds. Zanker makes 10 pounds of base rock every second. They also turn it into aggregates, pea gravel, and brick fines. Plus, they deliver. They turn wood into cogeneration fuels, soil amendment, and mulch in a bunch of different colors. And all they have 90 different products. But this latest development is truly disturbing. What they've done is they're taking organic waste, which is basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for me and my family, and they're turning it into something called electricity? 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 Am I saying it right? And at California's largest organic composting yard, they even make organic soil for agriculture. There's even a special soil for the cannabis industry. I can't read. If you'd like to learn any more about Zanker Re-Innovation, because you obviously don't care anything about the plight of the landfill seagull, you can check them out online. Bye now.